Excellent. Okay. So we're doing another one of these little incense discussions. I know, look at the camera. Right? For all those out there who don't know where we are, we have to remind ourselves from time to time. This is Woodstock Trading Company. This is one of our incense discussions. If you want to come and see us in person, it's really great because it's much, much better than websites could ever be or Facebook pages, as good as they are. We are 1880 Route 70 East, sometimes called Marlton Pike East, in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, 08003. Also, since we mentioned our address, if any of these things turn you on or you're intrigued or curious, we'll send samples. So you can get an idea in what we're talking about when I describe some of these things. You can experience them for yourself and review the discussion and try these things for yourself and say, okay, this is what he's talking about. So if you want, you can send us it's a full size, right? Full size envelope?
Yeah.
Full size, self-addressed, stamped envelope. Send it to us. I'll give you the address again. It's Woodstock Trading Company, 1880 Route 70 East, Cherry Hill, New Jersey, 08003. If you want to give us a call, if you don't like placing orders online or whatever, if you just want to find out some information, we're 856-424-6166. Okay, the nuts and bolts are taken care of. I may do them again later. So where we've been, we're going down this rabbit hole of Champa Incenses. It's a term that you see very often written on incense packets. Particularly, most people are familiar with the classic blue box, not Champa, from Srinivas Sugandhalaya. And one of the things that has spurred on this particular discussion is because of just how dramatically that particular Nag Champa has changed over years. It really, in almost no way, resembles the Nag Champa that we remember, and most of us remember, from the 80s, even the 90s, somewhere mid-90s, early 90s. It really changed dramatically. But one of the things, and what the core of this conversation ultimately is in one fragrance only, and that is Sairanjani Champa. Sometimes you'll see it simply as Sairanjani. Add Champa at the end, we admit, is somewhat redundant because it is a true Champa. So we'll remind, Champa incenses are a subcategory of a type of incense, Indian incense, called Durbars. 3 basic categories, we'll do them real fast. Charcoal-based incenses, which are made from charcoal. Ground up powdered charcoal, mixed with a binder, and dried, and they're dipped into oils. So they tend to be simple, floral, fairly heady, very bright, high in top notes, but not always the case. Sometimes they're dipped in musk or sandalwood oil, but they're liquid components. Masala Incense, as the name would imply, it's a mixture of spices and herbs, or we'll just generically refer to solid ingredients, so it could be resins and gums. Durbars are a hybrid of the two, where oils are mixed with resins, gums, spices, herbs, root powders, and flowers, and you name it, and rolled onto sticks. A subcategory is our champas, true champas. The key ingredient defines a true champa is halmadi, which is this gummy, sticky looking stuff that you would never look at twice. That really, really defines the fragrance. The blue box Nag Champa probably contains little to no halmadi anymore. So we've been looking and searching for halmadi incenses again. Sairanjani is one of them. So we're going to remind everybody, this is all about, we've been busy, right? We have hobbies, and one of them is ceramics. We also work on glass as much as we can, glass beads. But there's been a lot of requests for people, and this is one of the reasons I did this. I never thought to do this before, to make ritual candle holders, and I made these little stoneware ritual candle holders by hand. I made them on the wheel, and making little things on the wheel can be difficult, so I found another way of doing it. So they're not glazed, they're simple, they're primitive, they're raw. left them kind of as is. So we've had a lot of requests for them. So, necessity being the mother of invention, just kind of made these little guys, and they're small, little friendly little fellas. We got them for like $2.50, and they really, really do the job. And if they get too full of wax, they're heat resistant. You can boil off the wax or whatever. So anyway, Saranjani. For people that are familiar with Nag Champa from the 80s, will notice a significant similarity between it and that, except it's not quite as bright a fragrance. It's a deeper, darker fragrance. It's considerably earthier. It has a sort of subterranean, damp, cool, loamy note to it, but it still maintains the classic Champa qualities, which are moderately sweet. It's subtly musky, very masculine. Little hint of tobacco flower. Some people will pick up lemony notes. It's not unusual, right? Either lemon or bergamot. Mostly, I would guess, because of its significant frankincense content. It's beautifully tempered. If you really, really like old, true Halmati-based incenses, this is really, really, really a standard bearer. And this became the center of a whole bunch of conversation. This is interesting. It is kind of mirrored. It's like a true mirror. You ever see those things, those true mirrors? Mm-hmm. And they go like this. If you were looking through it at the monitor, you'd understand. Also, as sort of a tangent sidebar, whatever you want to call it, many people have been asking me about patchouli incense. It's completely off topic, but nonetheless, an important topic for patchouli lovers. And most patchouli incenses that I have found, many of them have been really wonderful. I have one called Pure Patchouli, I think is really, really great, and probably one of the best commercially available patchouli incenses I've found, aside from like some of the Fred Saul stuff, which is very, very, very expensive, but really amazing. What I've been doing, and I have not found anything that really beats this, is I apply pure patchouli oil directly to the sticks themselves. Needs to be a pure patchouli oil. It can't be cut. Can't be a body oil or pomade or fragrance. It needs to be pure patchouli oil. Because what they cut it with, I have no idea. And what's going to happen when it burns, I have no idea. So you need a pure patchouli oil. It's going to cost you, but it's really worth it. So I'll directly apply dots, dot, along the length of the stick so that the fragrance will come and go. If you apply it through the whole length, which you can, then you're going to be desensitized to its fragrance, and you're not going to notice it anymore. So you'll go through more patchouli oil than you really need to, and you won't really smell it anymore. The receptors will be saturated. So I put little interrupted dots of it along its length so that it waxes and wanes. Just to get a little note. You can do it with other oils too. I've done it with clove oil, which gives everything kind of like a juicy fruit gum smell, which is really, really nice. Doesn't give it the dentist office smell. It smells for older people again. It does. It sort of a juicy fruit smell. And anise or fennel, star anise, if you can get star anise oil. It's when you come in the room the next day, it smells like a pho restaurant, which is kind of cool. So from there, now last time we discussed Om Nag Champa, which is really, really exciting. And from the same people that I get Om Nag Champa, I get this really, really amazing Champa, Nitiraj. Moderately expensive, not brutally so. I suppose some incenses go. It's $2.50 for 10 grams, which it's about double or so kind of your typical Champa type incense. But what you're getting for that is very significant. Actually, Saranjani, God bless it, is still, as the last time I purchased it, inexpensive enough that you can get 20 grams for $2 and 55 grams for $5, and it's a hard I don't think I can beat that. Next time I order, I still have about 4 kilos left, which sounds like a lot, but it really isn't. Not in our world. So, Nitiraj. Wow, gosh. I forgot how complicated this fragrance was. So all this time went by, and I was all prepared to describe this fragrance. And I was like, oh, this is going to be easy because it's got so much going for it. And I realized that just the opposite is true because it is so complicated. It's very difficult. But we'll begin to dissect this fragrance. Okay. The first thing you're going to notice. What is the first thing you're going to notice? The first thing you're going to notice, it's a classic old school head shop smell. Okay, how do I describe that? Right, I know, we're in real trouble. Speaking to the over 40s here, who've been into those places. It's noticeably sweet. It's not cloying. It's extraordinarily elusive. Really, nutmeg is one of the key fragrances that you're going to get. Now, I don't think it's actual nutmeg, but it's something that certainly smells quite a bit like it. Many people have made the mistake of thinking they can add nutmeg to incenses and have it smell like nutmeg, and it just won't. Nutmeg contains too much fat in it, and when it burns, it kind of smells like burning fat. It's myristic acid, I believe, is the fat in nutmeg. Mildly caramelly. It's very, very similar to another incense I have called Rose Durbar. This is a Durbar incense. But it does not contain any rose whatsoever. It's not nearly as earthy. Where am I going with this? This is challenging me to be objective and describe. Now, one of the smells, I'll tell you what some of the other people have smelled in this. Some people say it reminds them of Play-Doh. A little bit. Okay, I suppose. A little bit of that. It's very jasmine-y. This white jasmine. There's this flower. Anybody's ever been to or lives in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, at least the last time I was there, there are these planters, and they have this shrubby thing and these little white flowers, and they produce a fragrance that's sort of like nutmeg, very similar to nutmeg. And this is what it reminds me of, those little flowers. And I asked everybody in the Bay Area, what are those flowers? And nobody seems to know. I didn't run into any Bay Area botanists. So if there's anybody in the San Francisco Bay Area, particularly the touristy area for Fisherman's Wharf, it also is a little bit, reaching a little bit, like roasting coffee. Cherry Hill, we're in Cherry Hill. The Melita Corporation. We got the Melita Corporation. So all your coffee filters and all that, they come from here. And as you drive past the plant, you'll catch this interesting coffee smell. And we orient ourselves in space based on the increasing or decreasing of the gradient of that fragrance. We know where we are at 295 by smell. A lot of New Jersey is based on odors. Unfortunately. Yeah, I know, right? And so if you drive up the turnpike, you can tell what exit you're at just by the smell. Right? So like exit 10 is a certain smell. There's one that smells like burning clutch. I don't remember which one that is. If it's 8 or I don't remember. The joke is you're from Jersey, what exit, right? So it's a little bit of either roasting coffee or brewed coffee, not as pronounced as Satya Natural, which somebody lit a stick of Satya Natural. Oh, excuse me. I lit a stick of Satya Natural, walked out of the room, came back half an hour later, and I was really, really upset because apparently everybody got cappuccino and never asked me if I wanted any. And everybody's like, what cappuccino? And I'm like, very funny. It was the stick of Satya Natural. So if you like cappuccino or chocolate, white chocolate, all that kind of jazz, Satya Natural, sidebar. So, moderately sweet. It's not like a dark roast. It's like a Sumatran, like one of those Indonesian coffees. Not like a South American, a little deeper. Oh, we got okay. Caramelly, not earthy, lightly sweet. It's a wonderful variant, and it's a true Champa. Do yourself a favor, get a sample of this. My description was kind of hazy, only because it's such a complicated fragrance. Send us a full self-addressed stamped envelope, okay? And ask for this one, Nitiraj.
What number is it?
Yes, Nitiraj number 213. Do yourself a favor, self-addressed stamped envelope, Woodstock Trading Company, 1880 Route 70. I slipped into William Shatner there for a second. Sorry. March 22nd, Shatner Day. Everybody speaks in Shatner. Okay, unless you wear a red shirt, then you don't have to speak in Shatner. 1880 Route 70, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Route 70 East. Did I say Route 70 East? Route 70 East, Cherry Hill, New Jersey, 08003. It's a gorgeous fragrance. If you're a Nag Champa enthusiast, or you think you're a Nag Champa enthusiast, and you've never really experienced the old school Nag Champa, this bears more striking resemblance to what Nag Champa was like than what Nag Champa is, the Blue Box Nag Champa is today. Do yourself a favor, you're going to experience something beautiful, lyrical, complicated, and has that roasting coffee, caramel, Champa quality. It has a confectionery note to it that I'm trying to put my finger on. It's not like a maple or a walnut or whatever, but it has a confectionery quality. A little bit cinnamony, maybe.
Kind of a mocha hint.
Yeah, it's something confectionery that I'm trying to put my finger on, and I'm failing to do so. So we didn't get as far as we wanted, of course, because we yammer. So the next time, I'm leaving this as a mark. For next time, we're going to most likely pick up at item number 144, which is Raj Laxmi. It's a very exciting, true Champa. It's been around a very long time, longer than Srinivasa's Nag Champa, which really came out in the 60s. This one's much older. Very, very bright, very camphorous, very masculine. It will remind you a little bit almost of some of those mentholated shaving creams, you know. Very, very, very cool. Very calming, very cooling fragrance. Raj Laxmi, that's item number 144. And we'll probably begin there. We didn't get as far as we wanted. Anyway, samples. If you want anything, or if you just want me to randomly send you samples, say so. To Woodstock, to full self-addressed stamped envelope, Woodstock Trading Company, 1880 Route 70, Cherry Hill, Route 70 East. I always forget that. Cherry Hill, New Jersey, 08003. If you want to give us a jingle, 856-424-6166. Hit us up on Facebook. Also, I keep forgetting, that's important. More and more important each day. If you want to like us on Facebook, do so. Even if you don't like us in person, you're certainly welcome to like us on Facebook. And kind of join in with all the goings on, because we do a lot of stuff here. We got concerts on the front lawn. We discuss incenses. We have wire wrapping classes. If you want to get into wire wrapping, we can teach you all that stuff. Even some just jewelry stuff. We'll help you. We got a lot of beads. If you're a bead fanatic, we have more beads than a bead shop. So make sure, if you get a chance, come in and see our stuff. So whenever we schedule the next one, we don't have one scheduled. Go on Facebook, and hopefully we'll give you a little up-to-date on when we plan our next little discussion. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube thing and all that jazz, and have a good one.